on film from this Patriots run defense, and what about the fact they haven't allowed a 50-yard rusher yet this year? What are you guys going to have to do to change that?
Yeah, they look good. I think their inside guys, Milton, Barmore, both are playing really well, and then everybody else kind of complements them really nicely. But they're fundamentally sound. They play hard, and they've done a great job. I think one explosive run all year, a lot of stuff. They rally to the ball. They get things out, and they've been playing from ahead, so teams have to pass the ball. So it's been a good recipe for them.
Joe, how meaningful was it for you to set that record last week and reach that milestone?
Yeah, it was cool. It's something I never set myself. Like when I got here, I was like, I'm going to play longer than Joe Thomas or anything like that. But once you start playing, it's just something you can look back on your career and there was some longevity there, some toughness, ability to stay on the field. That's pretty cool. It's hard in the moment, like in the first play of the game, look up and be like, oh, this is cool. But driving home, it was something cool to think about.
Even though you kind of had a debate on whether or not you wanted to come back this season, it really seems like you're playing some of the best ball of your career.
Yeah, I feel like there's been some really good stuff. My body's held up relatively well, and the play I think has been there too. So I'm happy that I've come back, and hopefully we can keep stacking some wins here and get back in some meaningful games.
Joel, the Patriots have had the same starting line every single game. You're going to have an 8th different one this week, probably, with Jack coming back. You just talk about the challenge of that as it pertains to offensive production overall.
Yeah, I think in a dream world, continuity, being the same group every week would be awesome. We've obviously haven't been able to do that with injuries and some line changes and trades. But if we can get a solid 5 group that can grow together, I think it's going to help the offense. When you play next to the same guy for a few weeks, you start realizing all right, this is how he sets, this is how he run blocks. There's little things like that, and I think Jack and White have played so many games next to each other, they could fall into that. But when you keep switching tackles up during the game, it's like you want to get your best guys out there, but you also want to have that comfortability. So hopefully we found 5 guys that we can put out there, we can stay healthy and keep it going for a while.
Joe Vrabel spent so much time with the position group last year. What was that like getting to work with him, first of all?
Yeah, you could tell the guy loves football. He's a football guy. He he was leading the walkthroughs last year on defense and stuff like that. But he's definitely a motivator of players and understands the game. And I think everybody who's been around him has a high level of respect for what he did as a player and what he's done as a coach.
Joe, when you look at the Dolphins game, how do you assess the run game, right? Because you had the long runs queue and he scores 3 touchdowns, but overall the average per carry probably wasn't well.
Yeah, I think it's tough in that game. You get to the second half, you're kind of going 4-minute-esque. In the second half, you don't want to take any crazy risk. Spread it out. They're going to put bigger guys on the field. I still think there's more there, though. Like you said, there's some of those runs that, we had a few negative runs where someone made a play in the backfield. You turn those into 1 or 2 yard gains, and then some of those 3 or 4 yard gains that weren't there, we're 1 block away from turning that into an 8, 9, 10 yard gain. So there's still more there. I appreciated the commitment to the run game, and I think we just have to keep pushing it and keep executing, and I think the bigger ones will start to come.
You guys went with jumbo package a lot last week. Is that mainly due to the weather or something might seem more down the line?
I think it was weather. I think it was, David being out as well. You need another tight end in there. But I think it's going to be a week-to-week thing where if we feel like there's an advantage of us putting another lineman out there, we'll kind of roll with it. Yeah, his composure's been great the first 3 games. I wouldn't say, playing in London, playing at Pittsburgh, playing in a weather game is a tough way to start your career. So his composure throughout has been great. And we want to continue to give him a great run game and good protection so he can do everything he wants to in the passing game. But his composure's been good. He's taking care of the ball. We haven't turned the ball over, I think, since he's been in. And so if we can keep doing that, I think he's going to continue to grow and have a chance to keep operating the offense.
Joel, you said Tuesday how much you love to hear in Cleveland, how he wants to finish his career here in Cleveland. What have you seen from Q that's just been so special that makes him just such a special player for this group and this organization?
Yeah, he's a great running back. He works hard. A credit to him, like he came in without any training camp and was in great shape. Like he was working on his own to put in that time. And he loves football. And those things you can't, teach. Sometimes, you draft a guy and you're like, you don't know if he loves, but he loves football. You tell by the way he prepares, the way he plays, the emotions that come out when he plays. And so I think all those make him a special talent, and hopefully we continue to grow with him as an offense.
Any of Nick Chubb and Dylan runs?
I mean, they're both just great running backs. They both make that first guy miss. I think they both kind of fall forward with it. And they have similarities when they break out. You're like, oh, is that going? And then he takes off down the sideline. So, I would say those are some of the similarities.
You guys talk so much, Kevin especially talks so much about not going on the task, like just focusing on what you have to bring the table. But how do you guys try to take something away from last week in terms of like building momentum and trying to carry that over without sort of dwelling on it?
Yeah, I think win or loss, you have to take the film and learn from it, because you win a game, lose a game. A lot of it is very correctable, very similar. But for us, it's having that urgency still. Like I think we showed what a good week of preparation, what a good week of practice. The focus was there, the urgency. If you can carry that over to week to week, which is hard in this league, it's 17 sprints. But if you can bring that mentality every week, there's a chance to grow from that. Thanks.
What's up, people?
So Grant, AFC Special Teams Player of the Week, how it feels to be honored like that?
It feels good. About time, huh? But shout out to the guys, of course. I was joking with Bubba. I said I only had a forced fumble. It must have been a slow week. But, we'll take them, and I'm grateful for it. And let's keep it going.
Grant, does it feel like the best season that you've had to this point?
I think I'm on a climb, steady climb personally. That's just the mentality that I have. I always want to be better. And I've been feeling like I haven't been impacting this team enough, so I'm like a madman with this. I'm trying to go every week and just do my job, but do more.
Do you feel when you look at this year compared to the previous ones, is it the impact plays you're making that you feel maybe separates this year from the other years?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes the ball finds you, but sometimes you got to go get it as well. And I think that's the next step I've tried to take in my game was just really having that mindset, mentality, every play to go get the ball, because that's what wins games.
Grant, I know after the game last week, you mentioned being excited to go to New England and see Vrabel this week. Like, what was it like working with him last year, and what kind of impact did he have on you?
Oh, no, man, I love Braves, man. He's a great coach, players coach. But like I said, that's just the mindset I have personally. I want to be the one that stands out on tape, like, are you watching the game on the screen? Like, nine is everywhere, and I try to spread that, throughout the team, and, it comes together well, as we saw last week. So now we just got to keep that energy going.
Grant, I feel like you've always played in different spots, but this year does it feel like you're moving around more on defense, and maybe where that come up?
Yeah, I think, just kind of earning Jim's trust, being able to put me in certain positions, expand my role a little bit, knowing that I have a pretty good, complete understanding of the defense. So, that comes with time and hopefully more successful plays as well.
Miles said, Miles is always the kind of player that the opposing offensive coordinator has to game plan around and allow to stay up thinking about.
Yeah.
Is that the guy that you want to be for the offensive coordinator, that they have to sit there and go, what are we going to do about Grant around there?
Yeah, of course. I want to be the one that say I keep them up at night, just like Miles. I'm sure they have nightmares about 95. So the more of those players we got in our defense, the better for us. And that's always the mentality that we've had. It's just they got to prepare for us. At the end of the day, this is not just the Patriots. This is every week. Jim puts a slide up every week that says players they got to stop, and it's a picture of us. So, and that's the truth of the matter that we play with. That mindset travels and becomes more successful.
Hey, Grant, in your previous years prior to the Miami game, you didn't blitz that much, did you?
Actually,
How many times can you remember blitzing in your career here prior to Sunday?
Yeah, I did blitz more on Sunday. It's something that I can do, and I give Jim, crap about it all the time. Like, you better call it. It's gonna work. And he was able to call it some of these plays, and I was able to make some plays. But it's whatever Schwartz want to do, honestly. But just know that I know he's an open book, and he can use certain players and certain schemes. But as we know, we try to get 95 free a lot, so that just kind of closes it up for me. But this week it was the opposite, so it happens.
So Greg said that they don't think that they've seen a defense like your guys' yet. You guys are going up against Drake May. He's got 12 touchdowns, over 2 interceptions. His rating is off the charts. So what do you guys think that you can do against Drake?
He's playing very well. He's playing efficient. He takes off when nobody's open. So he's making good decisions. So, their offense is, I wouldn't say it's a complicated offense. They just do the simple things right, and they play hard. So it's going to be a challenge for us. You got to watch out for his dual threat ability as well. So he's a good quarterback.
Going off of that, Denzel said that he's kind of glad that Drake May pushes the ball downfield so often, creates more opportunities for interceptions. Do you kind of share that same attitude?
Yeah, I think that he does, and teams usually play us a little bit different. They like to get the ball out fast and stuff like that and hit the perimeter because of our D-line. So as DBs, we love when they throw the ball deep. It's opportunities for us, especially Denzel, with the speed he has. So I'm sure he wants to see that ball hanging up.
Does it feel like you're being selfless when you're playing on as many special teams as you are? Or do you just feel like that's, part of the gig?
Yeah, I think that, like, the more you can do, honestly, I think this is the most special teams I've probably played in my career, and it's year 6. So I think it's setting a good example for the guys, seeing me do it, and it's really elevating my game as well.
Grant, kind of going back to, his ability to throw deep, but also to scramble and run.
Yeah.
What type of stress does that kind of put on a defense to have to cover both vertically and horizontally, with a quarterback like that?
I mean, we're familiar with it, the Ravens being in our division. So it's frustrating as a defense when a quarterback runs for first down, but we know that's not going to, kill us, but we got to be aware of his ability to run. And hopefully, attack that ball if he decides to run as well.
Grant, Alex Rain on Monday talked about you putting together like an all-pro season, obviously on the heels of winning the Special Teams Player of the Week. Do you have time to think about some of those bigger picture personal goals and what that would sort of mean to you if you pulled that off?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm leaving some plays on the field. So, hopefully I get to make some of those. I don't know. I don't really get to pay attention to it as much. I think I'll leave that for after the season because right now we're in the thick of it. But I'm just trying to get better every week.
Mother just talked to us about how he almost got chills after hearing about you saying that you want to go out and make plays for him. What's your relationship been like with him since he's gone?
Yeah, I mean, nothing but good stuff to say about Bubba, man. Like, the ultimate just fiery coach, played ball in the league for a long time. He's been in our shoes, and he got the answers, as far as drawing stuff up. So yeah, we ain't got no choice but to go make plays for a coach like that, Appreciate it. Sure.
Carson, how much of a challenge is it going up against a quarterback who scrambles and makes plays and like
Yeah, it always adds another facet that you have to be aware of on defense, and I think we obviously have a game plan for that, and then it's just a matter of making sure that we're doing our job.
What have you seen from Drake May on film, and just obviously how accurate he's been in his condition?
Yeah, he's been makes good decisions with the ball. Doesn't put it in harm's way a lot, and then like we just talked about, he's able to make plays with his legs as well. And so it's just a matter of, like I said, for us, just knowing what our game plan is and going in and doing our jobs and making sure we have all the communication and where you're supposed to be in coverage.
Vrabel mentioned that he doesn't think that the Patriots have faced a defense like your guys' yet. So do you feel like Drake May might be in for his toughest challenge of the season?
I think for us, it's our job every week to go out there and hopefully put on tape, to get these coaches to say what Vrabel said, right? And to try and show how great of our defense we are, whether it's stopping the run or stopping the pass, and so that's really the goal this week as well.
You had that one takedown of Shane in that game, 1 arm takedown. Did you hear the crowd react to that? Or were you so wrapped up in the game?
I think having that home crowd is pretty cool. It's a pretty great environment to play at home, and then I think when we made a ton of plays defensively that game, and you can always feel the crowd with it, and it's definitely a great environment, a lot of fun, and keeps the momentum with us.
Do you feel like that is going to be your identity as just a big hitter that's going to pop off the cake on a weekly basis?
Yeah, I mean, I think the goal is to go out there and play fast and play hard, and at the end of the day, obviously I'm trying to do my job and be in the right spots, but at the end of the day, if I can go out there and play fast and play hard, I'll be happy.
It seems like Devin's played really well this year too. What's it been like to kind of get to be out there?
Oh, it's been great. It makes my job a lot easier. I think he's been great too, just teaching me and helping me with things and things like that, and then he's making plays all over the field.
How much pride do you take collectively as a rookie group at the start you guys are off to?
Yeah, I think we're all going out there and we're trying to put our best foot forward because we want to go out there and win games. And I think the work that all the rookies put in shows up on Sundays, but it's not just something that we do on Sundays. It's throughout the whole week, and I think for us the goal is to just keep that momentum going throughout the whole year.
I think the coach has said during training camp he had more interceptions than anybody at practices. You get a little hungry to have one?
Oh, you always want the ball when you're on defense. I think, exactly what we did last week. When we're in our spot, sometimes the ball just goes to you, and so that's really my mindset is make sure I'm doing my job, and then when the plays are there, you got to make them.
When you're facing a guy like Ramondre, who has fumbled a lot, is that something that's in the back of your guys' minds? When you have to
Yeah, I think, regardless of who we're going against, every time somebody's going down to the ground, we're trying to get the ball out, and we were able to get one last week on kickoff, and so really there's always an emphasis at punching at the ball. Thank you.